So these playoffs, yesterday especially, the games are racking up. This first round, we already got our first series that is over. We got a clean sweep, and for a few of these series, we've seen that there is just no man left behind. And this is how it panned out yesterday in the NBA. First, I do want to say that some big series are being decided. This not Houston, I'm sorry. This Knicks and Clippers, Knicks and 76ers, I'm sorry, series is honestly one of the ones that has been the most exciting. They have close games each game, but it never feels like the Sixers have been able to really put the stamp on the Knicks. And I feel like a big reason as to why that happens is because of the supporting cast of the Sixers. The stars and especially Embiid have been playing amazingly. But I think that Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks have employed a strategy which has honestly worked perfectly, which is let Embiid do his thing, let him win, let him beat him back, he do what they do, and then defend the rest of the guys to the highest degree that you can. And the reason why I feel like they've employed this strategy is because they want to limit the amount of impact that the supporting guys have around the team. In Philly, where you're supposed to have an advantage, it seems like the guys, the supporting cast, never could do anything. Like, yes, they do guard Embiid, and yes, Isaiah Hartenstein has done a job definitely at trying to do that. But Embiid is a tough guard. Embiid is a great player, and it's going to be very hard for you to beat him, especially if you do not have the tools to do that. You notice them repeatedly loading up the paint and the perimeter wherever Tyrese Maxey is and leaving certain spots of the court open. And that has basically allowed the Knicks to really guard Embiid and Maxey, not at their fullest potential, but let them do their thing. On offense, the Knicks and know that the Sixers are extremely limited and that their offensive game revolves around a two-star role. It's the same thing that the Celtics figured out, the Heat figured out last season when they faced off against the Philly. They realized, like, yeah, Philly is a great team, but their offense is extremely limited apart from their two stars. So if you can find a way for the two stars to be the only players playing offense on this team, then with that you can find a way to have both of these guys, really put themselves out there. When Tyrese has the ball, when we've seen that Joel has the ball, we could see that there's obviously a different character in terms of the way that they play defense. Embiid has gotten a great game each game of this series. And honestly, it's been seen that when you let the guys around Embiid, the guys around Maxey be free and be consistent and try to do their best, it also causes them to have more problems because those guys can actually win you or lose you a game. This I feel like the New York Knicks figured out because they've absolutely let the guys around Embiid and Maxey completely be terrible. Kelly Oubre was actually had a good game last game, but Tobias Harris had 10 points. Kyle Lowry had 7. Nicholas Batum literally had 1 point, and Cameron Payne had 5. And they're getting these trash minutes from these, good role players. It's been working for the Knicks. I want to talk about the Suns and Timberwolves game where honestly it's one of the most interesting games. The Suns got swept. Anthony Edwards dropped 40 points to absolutely just sweep the Suns. And I do believe that this series was mostly won due to the fact that the Suns do not know how to play with each other in a playoff setting. There's one ball in basketball, and 3 guys cannot have this same ball at the same time. You see, last season it worked because they had CP3. So CP3 would give the ball to Kevin Durant, give the ball to Devin Booker. And I don't think that they realized that if they had a third scorer on the team which didn't play defense in Bradley Beal, then they would not win the game. In this game, Bradley Beal played 31 minutes and scored 9 points. But honestly, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker put up a valiant effort to try to win this game, and it didn't work. Devin Booker left it all out there, scoring 49. Meanwhile, KD scored 33. And even with both of them scoring 82 points, the Suns only managed to score 116 points in total. So that means that the Suns team in general was only able to score around 34 points. That is crazy. The fact that all of the guys, apart from the two stars, could only score 34 points. And in my opinion, that is the biggest problem with the Suns. They have no depth. They have no consistency. They have no guy which can play defense. And when you can't guard Anthony Edwards, and when the role players also get to be effective, I believe that the Timberwolves are going to be a team to look out for. You know, with this team, everyone plays a role. And even when, Jaden McDaniels isn't playing great, which he's been playing great all series, then you have a guy like Rudy Gobert, which played great for some of the games, Mike Conley, which has been amazing. And they've gotten this system of ride behind Anthony Edwards, ride behind Karl Anthony Towns, and just make sure that we win the game. Don't worry about, anything. Worry about playing defense. Worry about doing the right thing. Then the other two games that happened, one of them was the Dallas Mavericks versus the Clippers, where the Clippers won. Fun fact, both of the games that not so fun fact, but both of the games that the Clippers have won have been without Kawhi. And in this series, James Harden has been amazing. I think it's because they're allowing him to be great. They're putting him in his spaces where they're allowing him to be himself. And there is no pressure for James Harden right now. He doesn't have to be the star of the team. And with the Clippers, they took such an early lead in this game. I believe that the biggest thing for Dallas is that they have to be able to control the perimeter shooting of the Clippers. They have to be able to make sure that the Clippers cannot get that three-point game activated, because that is what won them this game. Consistent threes by Paul George, Norman Powell, James Harden, and especially in that fourth quarter. And the Mavericks actually managed to come back. But what really sealed the game for them was the fact that James Harden just was since they were now trying to shut the three-point game so much, James Harden got to kill them on the inside, and it led to the game-winning, drives and the game-winning points, which in the end actually caused the Clippers to win because they were able to really kill them where it mattered the most. Paul George obviously hit that huge three from the corner, and that's really what swung it. But when they couldn't guard that James Harden drive, and when the Clippers were up 3, the James Harden got that floater to be up 5. That's basically what sealed the game. And yes, by the way, Luka and Kyrie played great. Kyrie had 40 and Luka had a 29-point triple-double. So they could have not really played any better than that. I feel like the biggest problem was the defense and not utilizing Luka as much in the defensive schemes. Finally, we have and by the way, now the way that these games played out is that the Suns are eliminated. New York is up 3-1. The Clippers and the Mavericks are tied 2-2. And now the Pacers are up 3-1 on the Bucks after Dame didn't play. Dame didn't play because of an injury. And honestly, I don't know where Giannis is, but he has to come back. Giannis, I don't care where he is. It's been 2 postseasons in a row where he's been injured. And this can't keep happening. It's like this guy is completely dependent on the fact that it has been talking about Milwaukee changed things. We don't win each season, but you're not even healthy enough to step up. And that's where I'm really starting to get mad with Giannis. I feel like he's now becoming one of the most toxic superstars in the league. I've said it before, and I've said it a lot. I do believe that in terms of the way that Giannis has affected the front office, he's been a complete negative, telling what coaches he wants, etc. But when it comes to now, the fact that every single playoffs for 2 years in a row, you haven't been able to be healthy for 100% of the games in the first round means that you need to rest and stop caring about these damn awards. What matters to any great player is winning a championship. And if you can't even be healthy enough to help Dame out, which has been putting his heart and his soul out there, then you probably shouldn't be the one making the big decisions in the front office. So get healthy or get out, but do something, Giannis, because honestly, you're not doing anything. And finally, shout out to the Pacers. They're up 3-1, and they're probably going to win this series. The Bucks are out of the playoffs again.